Michael Hunter's career is a lesson in talent stalled by circumstance. Once a rising force after wins over Bacoli and Povetkin, bad promotional luck and risky matchmaking froze his momentum. Now the question remains, can Hunter reignite his career before boxing forgets one of its most skilled heavyweights?
You know what? There was a time when I was excited about Michael Hunter. When he beat Martin Bacoli, it really did pique my interest. And the draw with Povetkin was actually a competitive fight that showed to me that he was a good fighter. He belonged at that level. Let's remember that Povetkin at the time was still operating at a high level, and he was a former world champion. He had a fantastic left hook. He would double it, triple it, etc. For reference, check the David Price knockout. That was a chilling left hook. But let's get back to Michael Hunter. Something appeared to happen to Michael Hunter. Actually, nothing happened to Michael Hunter because there was inactivity, a lack of media exposure, and as a byproduct, he was lacking boxing activity. The car of Michael Hunter, if you could describe Michael Hunter as a car, figuratively speaking, it just stopped moving. And it was a little bit weird. Was this a case of bad management? Was this a promotional issue? Or did Michael Hunter simply lose the passion for boxing? Did he lose the dedication? Now, what many may not know is that Hunter made a bold move in his career. In one sense, you could say he rolled the dice outside of the ring as he decided to go with the promotional company called Triller. This was, again, a roll of the dice, and it did not work. Triller, unfortunately, to my knowledge, I believe it collapsed as a company. It collapsed as a business. Businesses collapse all the time. And when the Triller ship sank, it deeply affected Michael Hunter's development. Now, in hindsight, we're all geniuses, aren't we? And in hindsight, it would appear that signing to Triller was a bad move. But companies, they fold every day. So this is just the harsh reality of business. This is something that happens in the world of business. Some products thrive and others simply do not desire. Some businesses thrive and others simply do not survive. But one should not assume that Michael Hunter did bad business because his business was jeopardized by the collapse of a company as opposed to the business of the company. He may have had a very profitable deal. He may have negotiated a good deal. But there is another problem. And here is the other problem. Why, as a boxer, would you fight Michael Hunter? Why would you fight Michael Hunter? Because it's a big risk for a small reward. Think of it like this. If you fight Michael Hunter, you might actually lose because Michael Hunter's good. But if you beat Michael Hunter, you probably will not receive the respect that you deserve. So it's like, why would you take that risk? Because the challenge of Michael Hunter presents fighters with the certain scenario that you would need a big financial compensation. And this makes negotiation extremely challenging. So if you're a fighter on the rise and you got a good media profile, fighting Michael Hunter is a risk, and you would need to be financially compensated for that risk. And even if you are financially compensated, you still might not want to do it, or maybe your team wouldn't want you to do it. And it's unfortunate because Michael Hunter had some things going for him. Against Bacoli, he had a good jab, a nice right hand to the body, a nice jab to the body as well, and some nice head movement and the ability to punch in bunches, which is rare at the heavyweight division. On the inside, Michael Hunter would put his head on Bacoli's chest and provide a smaller target. He also committed to the right hand, punching through the target. That shows character. He also had good instinctive right hand counters, particularly in that fight. So when Martin Bacoli beat Hunter, when Michael Hunter beat Martin Bacoli, he had a lot going for him. But the promotional issues, being a difficult opponent, it's definitely provided some barriers. And allegedly, he turned down a fight against Filip Hrgović, which is a peculiar decision. It has also been alleged that Hunter is having issues with his other promoter. And when you put all these things together, the byproduct of all these problems is that it halts your career. I think this is sad. And I think to myself, what can we learn from the Michael Hunter situation? Is it simply that Michael Hunter is unlucky? Or is it a combination of bad luck with some bad decision making? And it's really hard to put your finger on it. But hopefully, Michael Hunter will get an opportunity sooner rather than later. Because time is ticking and the windows of opportunity to make the most money in boxing, they are limited. Hopefully, in the book of Michael Hunter, there is a new chapter. Hopefully there is a new chapter that involves fights in the ring as opposed to taking punches outside of the ring.